Good afternoon, everybody. So we still look like we're a little light,
Afternoon. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hello.
quorum wise. So up there's Trustee Hierone. So four, no, three, four, five. Okay. So we're good. Okie dokie. Is everyone ready? Take that as a yes. Uh, so I'm going to call this a special meeting of the Las Vegas Clark County Library District Board of Trustees to order on Monday, May 6th at 3 p.m. Could we have roll call?
Fairlaw,
Here.
Trustee Rogers, Trustee Haran,
Here.
Trustee Whiteley, Trustee Foyt, Trustee Ortiz,
Here.
Trustee Benavidez,
Here.
Trustee Sanchez, Trustee Bukowski,
Here.
and we do
And
have a quorum.
what was that?
I said, and we do have a quorum.
Thank you. And please mark anyone who is not present excused for this. Okie dokie. Moving on to agenda item number 2. Oh, it looks like we have Trustee Whiteley. Agenda item number 2, public comment. Has anyone signed up for public comment?
No, we do not.
Okay. I will close public comment and move on to agenda item number 3, board action to accept proposed agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
We have a motion from Trustee Benavidez. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second from Trustee Hierone. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. We'll move on to agenda item number 4. I'm rearranging my tiles here so I get all the trustees in one spot. So we'll move on to agenda item number 4, new business, discussion and possible board action to approve the evaluation form and evaluation calendar of the executive director. Jeff, do you want to walk us through the form and the calendar?
Sure, absolutely. For the record, Jeffrey Serpico, Director of Human Resources. I was asked at the previous meeting to draft a executive evaluation form that included some executive competencies, which you see in section 1 of the form that was sent to you, I believe, a little bit over a month ago. And then that would build on top of the second section of the form for the executive evaluation, which is the strategic goals or the transformational initiatives. So those would work together as one evaluation tool. In addition, while we drafted that form for the board's review, we put together a calendar to assist the board chair in hitting key dates, what needs to be sent out, what needs to come back, and then kind of what the agenda is for the whole evaluation process. It seems over the last couple of years, some of the dates were missed or certain processes were begun at different times. This is a very high-level agenda that can assist the chair of the board, and when they need to send certain things out, give certain reminders and what needs to happen. That's pretty much the process. The form was developed based on the input with the trustees from the last meeting, allowing room for evaluator comments, keeping it fairly simple, but also pulling out and adding the section with the executive competencies.
Thank you, Jeff. And the only thing that I would add on, trustees, is obviously this has been a conversation that's been kind of off and on for a while now, and we agreed that this would go into effect for the performance year beginning July 1st. Was that?
I'm sorry, this is Foyt. I finally
Oh.
am on. Kansas and I and Nebraska are having a weather issue.
Well, welcome, Trustee Foyt. So this is again, we've had this conversation off and on. The executive committee got together and we kind of took some feedback from trustees plus that meeting, and working with Jeff and Kelvin and Jerry. This is kind of what we had come up with. So everyone had a chance to look through it? Are there questions, thoughts, opinions, changes, anything?
We asked Trustee Fort to mute.
Yes, I'll be happy to. Once I figure it out again. I'm sorry.
Well, I think whoever the host is, mute as well.
Yeah, so Brian, is that you? Oh, there we go. Okie dokie. So there's the evaluation form and the calendar. The idea behind the calendar is I know kind of a couple times we haven't kind of hit our timeline with getting the evaluation done. So this kind of gives a framework for future chairs to be able to keep to that timeline for the evaluation, and that way everyone knows where we are, what we're doing. So I'll open it up to any questions, comments, concerns, issues, motions, anything.
Mr. Chairman.
Trustee Ortiz.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, to you and for the rest of the board, it looks really, really good. Love it. The only question I have is how does this match up with his contract? Or let me rephrase it. I'm hoping he gets a raise or an increase. Does it start at the end of this evaluation going forward, or does it go back to when his contract started in February? And that may be a question for Jerry. Legally, what are we required to do? We go through this process, we finish it out. His contract starts in February 8th, 10th, something like that. He gets a pay increase. Does it go back to February, or does it start at the start of this new evaluation?
Well, I believe after the first year, it's July to June. Is that correct, Jeff?
That's correct. You would have it sync up with the fiscal year, and that's where it is. It's not after that first year. If you remember, we moved Kelvin to a July evaluation date, and that should be July going forward.
Still confused.
And-
so go ahead. Sorry, cut you off.
No, go ahead, Trustee Ortiz. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Yeah, I just don't want to short him from February to July.
You wouldn't. We did a prorated evaluation back 2 years ago when we did the change. That was all part of the process of the first year. And that was all taken into consideration when the dates reset.
I don't recall that at all. I don't recall the board approving that, but that's okay. We're here today
It was all approved. I have all the paperwork.
on the prorated portion.
Yes. And that all went to the board.
Okay. Okay. I have no other questions. Looks good.
Vice
And
Chair.
then so we vote on this today, and this would be the evaluation for the next July 1 of 2024 through June 30th of 2025, correct? This process, these forms, these timelines.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions, comments?
Trustee Waugh, just as a procedural note, and no offense to our very good HR director, this is the trustees evaluating our director. So I don't believe that the form should go to the HR other than give him a raise or give him a pay increase or whatever. Is that correct, Jerry? He doesn't sit in the meeting.
The only form that you keep or he keeps is the final summary. Everything else goes to me because they're only worksheets for you to be able to have the conversation. Just like
So
that
correct.
doesn't change.
Well, when we have a conversation with each other, and on the Mr. Serpico would not sit in on that conversation.
Correct.
Okay. Nathaniel, is that, just want to be sure of that. No offense, Mr. Serpico, you do a good job, but
None taken, none taken.
you'll get how much we're gonna give him as an increase. Thank you.
He was a part of this for technical expertise because I don't know how to write evaluations. So
Okay, he did good. Thank you.
any other questions or comments? Or I'll entertain a motion if there is one. Anyone? Vice Chair Rogers, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry about that. I motion to approve the new evaluation form and timeline of the executive director of the Las Vegas Clark County Library District effective fiscal year 2025.
There's your motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Second from Secretary Harron. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. 11 minutes. Jerry, you're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Motion carries. So agenda item number 5, public comment. Is there any public comment for the second portion?
No, there isn't. And I just want to put for the record that Trustee Rogers, Trustee Whiteley, and Trustee Floyd did join the meeting.
Thank you very much. So with that, agenda number 6, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
The motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Trustee Whiteley. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. See everyone on May 23rd. Thank you, everyone.